Now, how many of you are out there looking for a good deer habitat, or maybe you want to build it on your private land? Doesn't matter if you're building it or you're looking for it on public land, trying to scout for it right now in the off season. But great deer habitat has a lot in common, doesn't matter where you're at. You want diversity, and you'd be surprised. You know, I'm standing by some good deer habitat. We actually have red cedar back there. We have a lot of low brush, briars behind me, weeds, grasses out in the fields out here. And then we come down here in the woods and we have a mix of junk cherry. There's ash down here. There's a little bit of oak, and we have a lot of aspen rimming this edge right here. And then we also have opening. We have an opening here. We're able to put a food plot. So in that case, if you're looking for private land, we want that combination of briars, brush, maybe some red cedars, conifer mixed in, and then low value timber. And low value timber meaning there's nothing in this entire woodlot behind Dylan here that actually equals any appreciable value for timber. We couldn't get a logger in here in any way. And that's okay. You find that the lower the quality, the value of the timber, the higher the quality of the value for whitetails and wildlife in general. And I want to point that out too. We're talking great whitetail habitat. The opposite would be all hardwoods, all conifer, all grassland, all shrubs. You want all of it taking place in one location. That equals edge and diversity. But that great whitetail habitat is not great whitetail habitat alone. It's also great wildlife habitat. So right here we have rabbits coming out of this brush behind me in those briars. There's rabbit tracks going right down into here. We have pheasant tracks on the outside. We have turkey tracks right over here. We have grouse in the woods. So all of those are indicator species of not only great wildlife habitat, but great whitetail habitat. The two go together. And again, on private land, having the opening, I see so many parcels, we visit so many, where it's all hardwoods. It would take literally decades to produce this right here by getting rid of hardwoods, letting other species habitat grow in. And then to open up big openings like this is only about 1.25 acres, but it can create an exceptional food plot. We actually chiseled this out of this brush right behind me. We actually cut these trees down this size. We drug them off to the side. We mowed all that brush down. We sprayed it several times, and then we put corn in here. We were able to spray the corn when it was up too. Also work on this area down here, and then planted brassicas down here. So we had a great brassica crop, put a lot of tillage radish in the soil so it'll break up the soil and give us even better plots next year. In fact, I'll probably rotate the corn down to where the tillage radish was, and then we'll put brassica up top. But this location was very easy to put in a food plot. We didn't need a dozer, we didn't need heavy equipment. We did it all on our own with basically a mower on a tractor, a mid PTO mower. Mowed that all down, and chainsaw, a little bit of hard work, and that gave us our food plot. If I was actually looking for good whitetail habitat to buy or to lease, I would look for something that had all this combination where you had poor quality timber, you had upland mix, and then of course if you walk into that right now in the snow and you see those tracks of grouse, rabbits, pheasant, then you know you really have something special, because there's not a lot of properties out there. I see a lot of woodlots that are being managed for timber value, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not going to produce great wildlife value. The two are not one and the same. So there's not a lot of great habitats out there that have this kind of combination of low value timber, and then also this upland mix out here. And then again, on private land, you have this opening. So one of the ways I talk about this, we've hit this hard lately, is we look at our HuntWise aerial maps, and they give you several different aerials, so you have different contrasts. I like going back to some of the older ones. It seems like they give you the best contrast. So when you see those big tops, when you're looking down at an aerial photo, you see big tops, you see small tops, you see smears of dark that might be more indicative of tag alder or conifers. The big tops are usually big hardwoods. You can see slashings. You can actually see where clear cuts are cut out of an area. You can see waterways. You can see that change from marshland, grassland, to upland, to hardwoods, old hardwoods, young hardwoods. And that'll be shown to you by different colors, by different size tops, and all those different lines. Where you see that on a map when you're looking at public land, that's where you really want to focus. If you see a lot of those coming together in a remote location on public land, that's worth a scouting trip in there. When you are scouting and you're going into an area like that, just to make note really quick, make sure, we talk about this all the time, if you're going in there to hunt, or if you're going in there thinking you might hunt, really have the whole structure and strategy of your approach to that area and where you might hang a stand along that area or two, so that when you get there, you're not wasting time going back and forth and your head spinning. A lot of that scouting can be done from the couch. That's where a lot of effective and really highly successful public land hunts come from just simply looking from the couch. And of course, if you're scouring for sale and real estate for sale, I'm fortunate. I get Chad Garteski from Weiss Realty. He's the best in this area up and down both sides of the river, and Weiss Realty in general being the best. And he sends me their active listings or new listings, and so I get to scour those and look at them. I just like looking at them. Sometimes pass them off to a friend if I know someone who's looking for them. But bottom line is, you can look at those aerials that are provided in the drone footage within those listings and really get a good indication of the quality of the habitat within those listings without even looking at the pictures to see how many bucks are there. It's kind of funny. Look at the aerials first. Look how much diversity is there, and that's going to tell you a lot about the buck pictures that follow within those real estate listings. The two go together. You have to take a look at that. A lot of times, if it's just all big open hardwoods, I'm not saying there's not big bucks and you don't have big buck pictures, but a lot of times the two don't go together with a lot of big buck pictures and big hardwoods at the same time. So again, if you're looking for whitetail habitat, doesn't matter if you're scouting for it on public land, if you're going to build it on private land, if you're looking for a new private land piece, you can always scout from the air. But look for these ingredients: low value timber, a mixed age of older, young timber, and of course brush, briars, grasses, lowland conifer out here, mixed conifer back in these this upland cover. And certainly, as a last point, look at the type of species of small game that are on the property. Great small game populations are a great indication that you found your next piece of whitetail heaven to scout, plan for, and hunt for this fall. Hey, I'm really excited to introduce to you our Hills and Thermals web class. It's something we worked on all year. We're trying to put lots of facets of scouting, aerial imagery, diagrams on the whiteboard to really teach you how the wind moves through hills and how you should find bedding areas, how it relates to deer movements in general, how that relates to, this is a bedding area stand, this is a food source afternoon stand. We really tried to put this together and offer you a complete picture of how to navigate hills and find better success consistently where you hunt.